Oh.
Let me know if you want me to read.
I am trying to set it up.
No worries. Shall I go ahead with the prayer?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्.
So we are doing 65 or
65, I think we stopped at.
yeah, 65. Yeah, right. Got straight to 65, right? प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरसोऽप्यजायते प्रसन्नो चेत् असेतसो प्रसन्नचेतसो सेतसो ह्याशु बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते.
प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशुः बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. Prasade, when the mind is tranquil, asya, his, sarva dukkhanam, of all the pain and sorrow, hanihi, destruction, ubajayate is born. He, because prasanna setasaha, of the tranquil minded, ashu, soon, buddhihi, knowledge, paryavatishttate, is well established. 1 second. When you're, did I finish that one? Oh, sorry. Okay. When the mind when the mind is tranquil, destruction of all pain and sorrow happens because the knowledge of one who is tranquil minded soon becomes well established. One whose mind is under control The mind is tranquil, destruction of all pain and sorrow happens because the knowledge of one who is tranquil minded soon becomes well established. One whose mind is under control directs the mind according to his or her will. Such a person experiences the world through the sense organs that are not backed by likes and dislikes. In this way, the ragadveshas are neutralized and the person gains a mind which is cheerful, composed, and tranquil. So,
Yeah, Jai Guru Dev, could you please read this para again? This
yeah, sure.
four lines. Yeah.
Mhm. One whose mind is under control, one whose mind is under control directs the mind according to his or her will. Such a person experiences the world through sense organs that are not backed by likes and dislikes. In this way, the raga dveshas are neutralized and a person gains a mind which is cheerful, composed, and tranquil. Okay? So, first, the mind is under control, directs the mind according to his or her will. Such a person experiences the world through the sense organs that are not backed by likes and dislikes. In this way, the raga dveshas are neutralized and the person gains a mind which is cheerful, composed, and tranquil.
Thank you.
For the person whose mind is tranquil, all the dukkha's, pain and sorrow, are destroyed. Although the plural form of dukkha's is used here, all sorrow is the same. One person is crying because he lost the kingdom, and someone else is crying because he lost his car. What is the difference between the two sorrows? Both of them are crying. Does dukkha subject itself to division? No. Sorrow is the same, whatever the reason. Whether you lose your kingdom or your hair, the sadness is the same. What Krishna meant here is that all sorrow, whatever be its source, is destroyed for the person whose mind is tranquil. In an earlier discussion, we saw the three sources of sorrow: sorrow caused by people and situations in the external world, Adi Bhautika Dukkha, sorrow caused by calamities over which you have no control, Adi Daivaka Dukkha, Adi Daivaka Dukkha. And finally, sorrow caused by your own body, mind, and senses, Adhyatmika Dukkha. Your own past memories or the condition of your physical body create Adhyatmika Dukkha. I'll read this line again. Your own past memories or the condition of your physical body create Adhyatmika Dukkha, whereas the Dukkha caused by your brother in law is an example of Adi Bhautika Dukkha. Any natural calamity is Adi Daivika Dukkha. Krishna said that these threefold dukkhas are all destroyed. Sarva dukkhanam hanihi ubhajayate. Sarva dukkhanam hanihi ubhajayate. When the mind is tranquil, everything is destroyed. Although all dukkhas are destroyed when the mind is tranquil, the causes for dukkhas themselves do not go away. They are merely incapable of causing dukkha. The body may experience physical pain, but there will be no dukkha because the mind is tranquil, prasanna. A tranquil mind means that the ragas and dveshas have been neutralized. A tranquil mind means that, that the ragas and dveshas have been neutralized. Desirable and undesirable situation do not cause reactions. I'll read this paragraph one more time. Although all dukkha are destroyed when the mind is tranquil, the causes for dukkha themselves do not go away. They are merely incapable of causing dukkha. The body may experience physical pain, but there will be no dukkha because the mind is tranquil, prasanna. A tranquil mind means that the ragas and dveshas have been neutralized. Desirable and undesirable situations do not cause reactions. All dukkhas are said to be destroyed because the real nature of the self is tranquility, and that tranquility is manifest in the mind. The mind is stifled only because of raga and dvesha. The fullness of the self, which is its nature, Ananda Swarupa, is inhibited from manifesting in the mind because of raga dveshas alone. The raga dveshas inhibit the fullness Ananda. When the raga dveshas are neutralized, the Ananda is uninhibited and the mind is tranquil. Destruction of dukkha is said to be born, upajayate, here in the sense that it happens, it takes place. Okay. So I'll read this one paragraph one more time. Okay. Although all dukkhas are said to be destroyed because the real nature of the self is tranquility, and that tranquility is manifest in the mind. The mind is stifled only because of raga and dvesha. The fullness of the self, which is its nature, Ananda Swarupa, is inhibited from manifesting in the mind because of ragadveshas alone. The ragadveshas inhibit the fullness Ananda. When the ragadveshas are neutralized, the Ananda is uninhibited and the mind is tranquil. Destruction of dukkha is said to be born. The destruction of dukkha is said to be born, upajayate. It's here in the sense that it happens, it takes place. A tranquil mind means that the knowledge is not far away. Oh, sorry. A tranquil mind means that knowledge is not far away. Does mere tranquility destroy all forms of dukkha? No. Destruction of all dukkhas can only happen when there is self knowledge. No, destruction of all dukkhas can only happen when there is self knowledge. Dukkhas go away for the person who has a tranquil mind because the knowledge for such a person is not far away. We are talking about a Sthita Prajna here. This knowledge, the subject matter of which is Atma, self knowledge, is steady and like space, it just stays. It does not move. The earth, air, and everything else moves, whereas space is always steady. Similarly, oh, sorry, I don't know why I keep going back. Similarly, the mind of a person with the self knowledge stays. And because the knowledge stays, the mind no longer causes any problem. The knowledge stays because there is nothing to oppose or inhibit it. This means that the very person stays in the form of knowledge. The mind of such a person becomes a useful instrument because the mind is tranquil, it no longer causes trouble. To gain tranquility, you have to take care of your ragadveshas. whatever is required and what you have to follow, whether it is a karma yoga or something else. So, whatever is required is what you have to follow, whether it is a karma yoga or something else to take care of raga dveshas. Only when tranquility is there does the knowledge stay. This means that the knowledge becomes clear, having been freed from all vagueness and doubts. Otherwise, you will always doubt your own knowledge. You will say things like, with this kind of mind, how can I say that I know? The mind itself creates all kinds of doubts, which is the problem. The mind has to gain the tranquility that is the basis for self knowledge, and to do this, it has to free itself from the raga dveshas. Then all the dukkha go away because the knowledge stays. Tranquility is the condition that frees one's knowledge from all obstructions, and because of that knowledge, all forms of sorrow are gone, and the person is said to have gained moksha. I'll read the last paragraph again. The mind has to gain the tranquility that is the basis for self knowledge, and to do this, it has to free itself from the raga dveshas. Then all the dukkhas go away because the knowledge stays. Tranquility is the condition that frees one's knowledge from all obstructions, and because of that knowledge, all forms of sorrow are gone, and the person is said to have gained moksha. Okay, so we'll do Manana, or unless you guys want me to read anything, I can read. 1 second. Okay, so this sloka is so beautiful. Sarva dukkhanam prasade prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirs haniras rasyopajayate haniras asopya hanirasopya jayate prasanna setaso hyashu buddhihi paryavadishtate tishtate tishtate. Mm. So first we have to neutralize the raga dveshas by karma yoga or other means, meaning maybe I don't know, sannyasa is another uh, path. So either the jnana yoga or the karma yoga, you get rid of this raga dveshas, then the mind is gaining that control of like.
Yes, that is when we are connected, we this 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes or so, it's all very beautiful, right?
Mm,
But what is taking away the this happiness, the state of mind? There is some obstruction.
this
So either it's adhyatmic, something to do with our own memories of the past, or
yeah,
whatever is happening in the body and we identify with it, or something which is adi bhautik, your husband or your child or your friend or someone else that you're associated with,
all the
as though,
sorrows. Mm.
yeah, as though causes sorrow. Again, because you don't like something that has happened, or you like something to happen, but it hasn't happened, or it is adi daivik, some natural calamity. So all these tend to rob us of that the knowledge that we are we are supposed to be actually stable in. So the knowledge becomes very shaky. It is there but not there. So the way forward is to ensure that we have this tranquil mind. And the tranquil mind will happen when when our state of mind is not changed, is not disturbed by the outcome of our actions or our dealings
Mm,
with people.
yeah, it's so Sanchala, right? The mind is
Mm,
like today. I really experienced that. Like since morning, I want to do so many different things. This is again becomes that desire, right? Like I like Sanskrit class, and then have to take care of some shopping, groceries, and I wanted to go to the temple today, but then oh, I had to read today, and then my some cooking had to be done before the class. All that happens, you just your mind is. I felt very disturbed. I kept thinking myself, why is this so much sanchala? Means this is what sanchala is. It's not at all calm. So that like that you were saying, yeah, like we are reading this Adi Bhautika or Adi Atmika is all it is. We're causing ourselves all these sorrows, trying to get rid of it is really difficult, looks like. But then as it arises in the mind, so how do we go about get rid of these sorrows or this pain or sorrow, like this distraction? That
with
is
an
the
attitude
question.
of karma yoga, right?
Mm,
That is where karma yoga comes in.
mm,
Karma yoga actually, to practice karma yoga requires, it is it is a challenge
mm. Yeah, yesterday
to
only
be
we talked
established
about
in
it.
karma yoga, right?
Yeah, right.
Because
So yeah,
unless and until these ragadveshas are not neutralized,
mm,
there is no tranquility in the mind. And when
mm,
there is no tranquility in the mind, this knowledge cannot be established. For
mm,
the jnana nishta to happen, you require a mind to be tranquil.
mm, mm,
Again, it is all about bringing up our awareness. So, all the practices that we're doing is aiding in increasing our energy levels, increasing our awareness. So, at least then what we've read comes to our mind, or whatever we've learned in the happiness program, all those 5 points, they come
mm,
up to our, and you're able to live them. Otherwise, it only remains like a concept, and we'll
mm,
be continued to be tossed and turned over by our likes and dislikes. No better than like the armchair Viveki. Such a
mm,
beautiful term Swamiji has coined.
mhm,
Otherwise, we tend to fool ourselves, no? I mean, oh, I'm doing this, oh, I'm studying Bhagavad Gita, but are you actually practicing it? Is a question.
mm.
Swami Chinmayananda said, doesn't matter how many times you have read Gita,
Gita. It has to go
how many
through you.
times has Gita gone through you? So
Mm,
profound it is.
mhm,
Again, not to sit in self blame and dejection, but to rise up again and again.
yeah.
Uddhared atmanatmanam. Yeah. Let me know, Dr. Mara, if you want me to read, I'm happy to read. If you need to go to the temple.
No, no, it's fine. Like it's 1 hour from here,
Mm.
and so there's so many things like this, and then uh, and my car, the window was broken, so we had only one car. So so many different things. So I said, okay, I'm just going to read Tirupavai at home today and pray the God, and you know, I do it from prayer from here. So I did it already, so it's fine. It's just that what I meant to tell you is like you have a commitment, right? Like Saturday, I want to read this, then I want to keep that. And so we can't, the temple makes their program according to their schedule, right? So I couldn't go and come back anyway, so it's fine. No, what I meant to tell you is how the mind gets that sanchala, right? That lose that peace of mind because our own doing. Uh, like I want to do this, I want to do that. I know I can do only one thing at a time. So just calm down and do it that way. Okay. Then I said, okay, I'm not going to do too many things. I just do the class today and take it from there. And so I am fine now, but earlier it was so much of that thing going on in my head. So then I was thinking myself, why is my mind is so disturbed? Like disturbed meaning like, some days you're so calm and quiet and all, you feel that peace of mind. Some days that I don't get that. So that's what I am trying to figure out myself.
Yeah.
Into,
So when
yeah,
the rajas is high and
yeah,
there are lots of desires,
yeah,
you have a long to-do list, but
yeah,
short time, not enough time. That
yeah,
is when it feels suffocated. So that's
yeah,
when Swami Suryapadaji would say, just
mm,
prioritize.
right,
When you have too many things to do, then prioritize. You set it up and say, okay, which is most important? I will do that.
yeah,
Then you'll be able to settle it. Otherwise, you'll end up with frustration.
true.
I want to do
Because
everything, but I'm
no,
not able to do anything.
yeah, at least trying to keep up with this weekend reading because weekdays it's been difficult for me because I had to take care of my grandson. So he's here until 5 o'clock. After that, I'm really tired. So I had to get ready for the class. It's a little bit harder for me. So that's why I don't take the weekdays and then try to work with the weekends. So, but this works out fine. And this is also one way of praying God only, like when you're reading Gita. So I really like this reading part and gives you nice feeling also understanding this. Yeah, thank you. So that Ananda Swarupa, right? That we when you realize that knowledge in yourself, you have that happiness and peaceful, cheerful mind, happiness, all that takes place. Tranquility, cheerfulness, and uh, ananda.
You accept the world as it is rather
Mm.
than try to change the world according to
Change.
you, what you want.
Right. So that part is always that 5 points that you always say, right? Accept yours as it is. That's the first one. Accepting everything as it is. Please share your thoughts and So when you take this as a, we are trying to review all the lakshanas, right? And now we are looking at all this. Yesterday, when he said we are doing that krodha, that's one was negative thoughts and all that, which how we're getting rid of, right? And this one is specifically about how that mind is get tranquil by having karma yoga, doing karma yoga, neutralizing raga dveshas. The mind gets tranquil and the knowledge happens. And in terms of the sorrow, also the how does the sorrows, all the sorrows, when the mind is tranquil, we are pretty close to that. The knowledge happen. So how when the tranquil mind, all the dukkhas been removed or destroyed. So that is a thing that they brought about all this Bhautika, even though body feels the causes are not removed, but then the dukkha is removed because of the mind is tranquil. But all that, you can still have body pain, but you're not going to worry about it. You kind of go along with it and do whatever had to be done.
What will happen is if you meditate upon the
Mm.
Pratyagatma in the 6 different ways that we were taught earlier,
Mm.
Anandatma, Asangatma,
Oh, right.
Abhogtratma,
Mm-hmm. We
Pur.
read, uh, yeah, go
So
ahead.
rather than meditate on, say, pain in my body or
Mm.
pain or objects outside in the world, people and situations. See,
Right.
we meditate so much on the others, no?
Mm-hmm.
Someone's behavior is bothering you.
Right.
You go on, churning it in your mind.
Right.
So much of
True.
meditation happening. How much of mind energy is getting taken up by
Mm.
that? Rather than that, if we can um,
Mm.
direct those energies to meditating upon the Pratyagatma, see
Right.
everything as an objectify everything. When we look at it as a witness,
Mm.
then you're distancing yourself mentally from all of this.
Mm-hmm.
There is no clinging, there's no attachment. That's the sadhana that we have to meditate on the Pratyagatma.
Meditate on Pratyekatma. As we do these things, we have to make notes, I think. Do you, we used to post that AI notes, Dr.
You
Brahma,
want
but
me to post that? I'm allowing
yeah, I mean,
transcribe.
I know it's long sometimes, but
Yeah,
at least these points that we are making, right,
right.
as we reading this
Yeah.
thing, at least we pick up on these points, like you said, uh, meditate on Atma rather than you're wasting your energy into something else. I think that's somewhat doable in the sense throughout the day, even something comes up, this what I need to do, you know, that will help me, like to uh, keep thinking about it. How sometimes you have that knowledge, like you said, right? We are reading, we are hearing all these things. Sometimes you wonder yourself, oh, how do I go about doing this like that, as we are getting older or something. At the moment when you're reading, it seems like it's so clear and everything. And then after this, like you said, after this hour, you tend to forget, or or little like it said, like any doubts or confusion, It has to be clear, that knowledge had to be clear in your mind. Like that, it will really help, like whatever the points we pick up, or like one thing to do would be good, incorporate as we go along.
which is true.
Yeah.
So we have knowledge which has pratibandhakas,
Mm,
obstructions.
right.
So there is some knowledge, not that you don't have, but
Mm,
it is it is muddy, it is not clear.
mm,
There's no tranquil waters there. So in order to create that tranquility so that that knowledge is crystal clear,
mm,
cleansing is required. Which is why Ramana Maharshi would always say,
mm,
ask who is that? Who is that? Is that you're going within? If you're turning your
right.
energies, your meditation thoughts within. Who am I? Who is this experiencing this pain? Who is this one suffering?
Mm,
When we direct that, if we just ask this one question whenever we're going through any,
mm,
but then that awareness should come. It should come for us to ask, okay, I have to ask myself. So
mm,
for that, all our
yeah,
spiritual practices come of use.
right.
So they create that gap between our response or reaction to the world outside. So you have a say. Then more and more you're practicing, you develop Dhamma, that
Mm,
you're cultivating Dhamma. Otherwise, like yesterday we read, we are no better than animals. We
mm.
we we react
They're getting angry
impulsively,
and all that. Yeah.
yeah, instinctively and impulsively.
Mm-hmm.
So the lower, baser qualities show up, and you kick, scream, shout, do whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then you end up, blaming yourself. So the self blame, blaming others, the cycle continues.
Mm,
So to get rid of that is to withdraw oneself and start looking within. Who is this? Who am I?
right. So, like you said, any amount of karma that we are doing, it's not going to get you to that uh, moksha, right? I mean, we still have to get that knowledge. So, to get the knowledge, you have to do this karma yoga. Okay. Should we move on to 66? Does anyone else want to say something about this sloka? I think. Okay. नास्ति बुद्धिर् अयुक्तस्य न न च अयुक्तस्य भावना न च भावयतः शान्तिरा शान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्. I hope I said it correctly, or you want to say it again, Dr.
Yeah.
Pramada?
Nasti buddhirayuktasya na chayuktasya bhavana na cha bhavayata shantihi ashantasya kutas sukham.
Okay. Asantasya. Okay. Got it. Ayuktasya. For the one who is not tranquil. Buddhihi, knowledge. Nasti is not there. Ayuktasya, for the one who is not tranquil. Bhavanacha, contemplation also. Na is not. Abhavayataha. Abhavayataha. For the one who is not contemplative. Shantihi, peace. Na is not. Cha and asantasya. For the one who has no peace. Asantasya is for the one who has no peace. Kutaha, how? Shukam, happiness. Ayuktasya buddhihi na asti, na asti ayuktasya bhavana cha na abhavayataha shantihi na cha asantasya kutaha sukam. For the one who is not tranquil, there is no knowledge. For the one who is not tranquil, there is no contemplation. And for the one who is not contemplative, there is no peace. For the one who has no peace, how can there be happiness? It's almost reflecting me today. For the one who is not tranquil, there is no knowledge. For the one who is not tranquil, there is no contemplation. And for the one who is not contemplative, there is no peace. For the one who has no peace, how can there be happiness? This verse is Krishna's way of praising a tranquil mind, that is prasannata, 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 prasannata. Okay, this verse is Krishna's way of praising a tranquil mind, that is prasannata. The word ayukta here means a person who does not have the cheerful, tranquil mind that was discussed in the previous verse. So, the word ayukta here means a person who does not have the cheerful, tranquil mind, and that was discussed in the previous verse. The ayukta is the one who has not taken care of his or her dveshas sufficiently. It must be clearly understood that what is being said here is in no way meant as a judgment. If this is not understood correctly, a problem of self judgment can arise as you listen to the Gita and the Vedanta Shastra. I am useless, you may say, because there is already a tape inside. The self criticism begins immediately. All that the Swami has to do is utter one negative statement, and this inner tape switches on automatically. Because I am an ayukta, I will never get this knowledge. Since the tendency is to judge yourself, you must know that what is being said in the Gita is not meant as criticism. Its sole purpose is self-understanding. If having heard what the Gita says, there is something to be done, it is to be done. There is nothing more to it than that. If raga dveshas are there, they are to be taken care of. That is all. So I'll read this paragraph one more time. Since the tendency is to judge yourself, you must know that what is being said in the Gita is not meant as criticism. Its sole purpose is self-understanding. If having heard what the Gita says, there is something to be done, it is to be done. There is nothing more to it than that. If ragadveshas are there, they are to be taken care of. That is all. The word buddhi here means knowledge of the self, that by which you understand the self, the Atma. Adequate knowledge does not take place for one whose mind is in the hands of ragadveshas. Hmm. I'll read this again. This word, the word buddhi here means knowledge of the self, that by which you understand the self, the Atma. Adequate knowledge does not take place for one whose mind is in the hands of ragadveshas. For a yukta, the ragadveshas are neutralized and there is no problem. Whereas for an ayukta, ragadveshas are there, causing his or her knowledge to be inadequate. In addition to the knowledge being inadequate, the pressure of the ragadveshas more often than not will drive the person towards the desirable objects to be gained and retained, and those that are to be avoided and eliminated. So I'll read the last line again. In addition to the knowledge being inadequate, the pressure of the ragadveshas more often than not will drive the person towards the desirable objects to be gained and retained, and those that are to be avoided and eliminated. So that the objects to be eliminated. There is nothing right and wrong about raga-dvesha pursuits. This is just to explain how the pressures of ragas and dveshas work. Because of the natural tendency of the mind towards objects of raga and dveshas, there is no yearning for or commitment to self-knowledge. There is time only to nurse one's ragas and dveshas. Even if you try to read the Gita, your raga will keep clamoring at you. What are you doing? What kind of book are you reading? It is not going to fulfill any of your likes and dislikes. I have so many things to interest you. In this way, the raga dveshas seated inside you demand your attention so much so that if you begin reading the Gita, you will either fall asleep or feel like doing something else. So, desire stifle one's interest in self knowledge. Desires stifle one's interest in self knowledge. Ragadveshas being there, one's interest in the pursuit of self knowledge will necessarily be stifled and one's commitment inhibited. Even if you want to contemplate upon the self in order to get rid of some of your problems, the pressure of raga dveshas makes contemplation very difficult. You find that you are unable to sit with yourself even for a short period of time. For the one who cannot sit with himself or herself, who cannot contemplate, who cannot pursue self or knowledge quietly, there is no composure, no tranquility. Whereas for the one who contemplates upon oneself, for the one who can stay with oneself, whereas for the one who contemplates upon oneself, for the one who can stay with oneself, there is tranquility and love of oneself. Thus, the more one can be with oneself, the more tranquil one will be. So, what you have to do is you contemplate on the self. The more you contemplate on yourself, you stay with yourself, then there is tranquility and love of oneself. We are not talking about the commonly known self here. We are talking about the real self, the self that is beautiful. The more you begin to understand, the more you begin to love the self. The self Atma is not other than yourself. The self Atma is not other than yourself. Therefore, self love comes. Because the self is absolute, the love for it is absolute. Because self is absolute, love for it is absolute. There is a lot of talk about the necessity of developing self love. But how can you develop a love for this limited self and you have, with its crippling ragadveshas, without feeling love for yourself? You cannot sit with yourself. And when you cannot sit with yourself, there is no tranquility, all of which implies an absence of peace and contentment, ashanti. Happiness one can only take place in a tranquil mind. A person may say that he or she does not want peace and contentment, shanti, but wants only happiness, sukha. One may say some people may want shanti, but I am an enterprising person. I want pleasures, joy, and happiness. For me, shanti is useless. But all sukha, all happiness is possible only in a tranquil mind. When you cannot sit with yourself, naturally you are agitated. And when you are agitated, there is the possibility of sukha for you. When you are agitated, there is no sukha. How can a person who is ashanta, who does not have shanti, pick up any sukha? There is no way. Sukha is only with yourself. Therefore, the more you can stay with yourself, the more tranquil you are, and the more tranquil you are, the happier you are. Happiness then is another word for tranquility. Only the tranquil person can discover happiness. In fact, such a person discovers happiness even in small things. He or she does not require a talk show to be happy. Everything in the world becomes amusing to the person who is tranquil. If you have tranquility, the whole world is a continuous joke. You require nothing, it is all there, free of charge. But just open your eyes and you see the joke. When the inner tranquility is there, you require nothing to be happy. Whereas if it is not there, happiness cannot even be bought. Happy hour does not buy you happiness. It only robs you of your money. It may be a happy hour for the owner of the bar, but not for anyone else. For both you and your family, it is definitely an unhappy hour. When you cannot stay with yourself, where is the possibility of sukha for you? One has to take care of raga dveshas, otherwise they are a nuisance. Therefore, whatever is to be done to take care of them must be done. So the important takeaway here it is, take care of the raga dveshas. Therefore, whatever is to be done to take care of them must be done. This may imply karma yoga, listening to the teaching, shravana, or further analysis, manana. Now the knowledge takes place. What is required for it to become steady, sthira, and why it can be so unsteady, asthira, as asthira, is what is being discussed in these verses. So why it can be so unsteady? So when you have that raga dvesha in your mind, that is going to make not tranquil. When the tranquil mind is not able to contemplate on yourself, when they are not able to stay with themselves, they're not going to be happy. So it's really good. I have 1 minute to go. So it's about tranquil mind. So like this one is talking about, if the mind is not tranquil, what are things can happen? There won't be any peace, no happiness. No shanti, no happiness. Ayuktasya, asantasya. Okay. Ayuktasya abhavayataha asantasya. One who is not tranquil, one who cannot contemplate. One who cannot contemplate, there is no peace, asantasya. There is no, how can there be happiness? When there is no peace, how can there be happiness? So if you take this in positive way, when the mind is tranquil, you contemplate and the knowledge happens and the peaceful peace of mind and happiness automatically. Only 5 of us. Please share for a few minutes. And takeaways, taking care of raga dveshas. Keep thinking about it. What does Guruji says about taking care of raga dveshas, Dr. Brahmara? How do we go about doing it? I know he always puts it very simple. Prasannata.
Again, it's all about the binding desires.
Desires, right.
Not the non-binding. So most of, it's wrongly interpreted that you should not have desires. But without desires, there is no action. And living in this world, without action, you cannot move. Even for breathing,
Right.
everything is action oriented. So therefore, the understanding is the binding raga dveshas have to be neutralized. You can have preferences, but if your preference is not met, are you still stable? Are you still centered within? Or are you disturbed? If one is disturbed, then that is a binding raga dvesha, because what you wanted did not happen. And that has affected your inner peace.
Right. So that's a binding desires, right?
So that is where viveka has to be used. Very gently, like how we remove a soft silk cloth or cloth from a bush of thorns. Very slowly, little by little, we'll have to tackle these raga dveshas. Not per force. If you again do it by force,
it will revolt.
You're just suppressing it.
Yeah.
It should come from understanding.
Suppressing it doesn't work.
Suppressing, again, it's like bottling it up, no?
Right.
Forcibly, you're like that person who goes from Manhattan to the mountains.
Right.
And then he's sitting there, wants to contemplate. But where? He's only forcibly taken his physical body, but his mind is still stuck in what is happening to his family, what is happening to his wife. So there's no point in forcibly doing it, but doing it out of, like, for instance, if someone has to fast and he's told you have to fast, it's different when that person wants to, is inspired to fast by himself, versus someone has enforced it upon. If someone's enforced it upon one, then the only thing you'll think of every time is food. But if you've done it on your own accord, you're inspired to fast, then that becomes a very joyful experience. So this is all about clearing up all that muck that is there, so we can have Sudarshan, true darshan of ourselves. So you stopped at verse 66, is it?
Yeah.
We finished the 66, or we still on it?
No, we finished it.
Finished it, okay.
Yeah. And we can read it again, probably to continue, because the next few verses pretty much talk about this same thing. I think 67 is about the mind tranquility, and same thing, same thing, meaning like how the knowledge happens, kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Shall I do the Shanti Pada and we do the...
We can do the Shanti part.
Okay. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Meditation is accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene and with a serene smile on your face. Relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region, throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Accept those parts of the body where you feel a tension. The other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the efforts. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may gently open your eyes.